So, Mark, snow has returned to Las Vegas just as I'm here in Florida. Today, snow was everywhere up in Anthem and parts of Henderson. It made me so jealous because I love the every couple of years where we get this type of snow, and I'm not there to experience it. But hopefully, people got to go out and frolic and to do the stuff that you get to do every winter because it's just normal for you.
Yeah, I just can't imagine what people driving on the roads are because whenever snow hits the southern states, it's always a mess. So it'd be fun to see. It does look like some of it's sticking, so maybe there will be some sledding in the next day or two, which is always cool, especially when you don't get to do it very often. Definitely, I wouldn't want to be there right now. I'd be very mad if I went to Vegas and it was snowing because I get enough of it at home. But if I lived there, I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, most of the areas of Las Vegas just got rain. I actually checked my cameras in the lowlands of Green Valley and there was just rain. So it was only up in the higher elevations. So most of Las Vegas probably just dealing with the rain. But yeah, there's some cool parks up in Anthem and we saw pictures of golfers golfing in the snow and pets.
Yeah,
And
that's crazy.
as you said, it like stuck in a lot of areas. And that's the fun part of being in Las Vegas is that you get it every couple years, but it's not a normal thing you have to deal with. So, Mark, did you see that crazy strip rescue? Someone was driving down the strip, crashed into a palm tree in the median, and I guess got knocked out. And then a police officer and a civilian kind of rushed in there and dragged them out of the car just in time. Like literally, the feet were coming out of the car as it burst into flames. A few seconds, and it could have been a lot worse. I've never seen anything like that on the strip. Although we've seen so many crazy things happen, people like spinning out on the strip, drag races on the strip. So I suppose a fiery rescue is right in line with everything else.
Yeah, I'm surprised they could be going fast enough on the strip with the traffic and everything to hit a tree that hard that the car goes on fire. So wondering if there was some type of medical thing or intoxication or something along those lines that you hit a tree in the in the middle of the median. Pretty crazy, but the cop, and we should say a pedestrian jumped in there too and helped out, which is pretty cool. And I thought it was just kind of the most Vegas thing ever. They're pulling them out, dragging them onto the main drag of the strip, and cars are just like driving by like nothing happened, moving on.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be really brave. The civilian that went in there, the good bystander, just to go rip them out because it was smoky. The car could have gone up at any moment, and police officers, you kind of expect that. There was a lot of like shade thrown at the local media because all the headlines said police rescues this person and nobody mentioned the other guy who just was there along with it. In fact, the other guy is the one who got the driver's door open and helped get the driver out. So yeah, kudos to him because that's some bravery right there, putting your life on the line to save somebody. And in this case, they really did save somebody because you can see in the video that the car burst into flames just a few seconds after they dragged him out and dragged him down the strip. I hope the driver's okay. I wasn't able to see what the follow up was with the driver, but I think the driver's okay. So good news there. But always drama happening on the strip. More drama from Virgin Hotels or from Mohegan Sun. Apparently, they're cutting a bunch of shifts of cocktail servers, bartenders. More news that things are not going so well there. As someone said on Twitter, out of all of the native casino operators that have come into Las Vegas, they probably got the bum end of the deal with that property and what's going on. As Palm seems to be doing better, Hard Rock's future, and some of the other stuff going on. So yeah, just another story about Mohegan Sun probably not doing really well. We talked about their weird referral promotion. We've talked about this kind of consistently since they opened, and everybody seems to agree with us that the property doesn't have the right vibe. Whatever it is, when you go in there, you just feel that it's missing something. And whether it's going to be Mohegan Sun or somebody else coming in and taking over, if they fail with it, which we hope they don't, something really seems like it has to change.
Yeah, I remember early on when they were struggling, we made the joke that like Hard Rock's going to come in and buy it back, and too bad that's not a possibility anymore. But it's insane to see something that was one of the most beloved Vegas locations, especially for somewhat off the strip. Hard Rock, people would go there. It was always busy whenever I'd go in there, and now you go there and it's just dead. Everywhere is dead. It doesn't feel right. Like it just feels weird. They spent all this time and money refurbishing things and it actually made it worse. So I don't know that they can pull out of this. I don't think that's a possibility. I just have to imagine that they end up switching hands or selling it or something. But very little of it feels Virgin-esque. The Shag Room is one of the few places that we enjoyed when we were there that does, and it's sad to see for sure.
What will happen, we don't know, but something is going to have to change there, and we'll keep an eye out on it. The accusation was that they didn't give these servers and bartenders a lot of notice, so this seems pretty sudden. And I wonder, we're quite a ways into this experiment now with Virgin Hotels and the Mohegan Sun Casino, and if it really has been as bad as it seems, they've probably lost a lot of money, and so we might see something finally happen there, and we'll keep an eye out on that. Dropicana update, Mark. Some crazy videos coming out just from seeing everything that they did. We had covered it a couple weeks ago. They had closed I-15 this last weekend completely, closed Tropicana Avenue this last weekend completely. Now things are moving into the next phase. So Tropicana is half open, and they're doing one of those diamond interchanges where you cross over to the other side of the street.
I hate those.
Temporarily. I actually like those. They're called a diverging diamond. And we have a few of them in Las Vegas, but it's just temporary while they do this. And yeah, some of the crazy traffic videos we saw, traffic backed up, the freeway completely stopped. It's been pretty ugly, but now everything will go into this kind of normal construction mode for a while, although the exits on I-15 southbound to Tropicana will be closed for the next year or so. So yeah, Tropicana a mess, still stay away from there. But the good news is those full closures ended on January 30th. There was that one video where the police had people stopped on the freeway before an exit. So I don't even know what happened there. Like, what were they doing? How are those people supposed to go? Because there wasn't an exit for them to get off. So were they just like parked there for hours? I don't know. But yeah, it was a wild couple weeks in Vegas.
Yeah, the one video of all the people coming in from California just for miles upon miles. Like, you booked this Vegas trip. Maybe they weren't even going to Vegas. They're just driving by. But you book a Vegas trip months in advance to find out that everything's shut down in the area that you're going to, and you're stuck in standstill traffic for hours. It's just horrible. But I've had that happen before. I was driving home at night, and they were doing some work on a bridge, and they just shut down the highway and left people stranded on it for like 3 hours before they opened it back up while they were doing some work right in the middle of the bridge, something like that. So maybe that's what was going on. Like, they just had to stop traffic until that was done, and then they could let it go through. But it's just nuts. Like, why would you do that on a weekend? I don't understand it. With all the people coming in from out of state, it's just crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. The good news is most of that, the closures at least, are behind us. Now they're going to rebuild the Tropicana Bridge half at a time. That's why they're doing that diverging diamond. Basically, they've converted half of it into two-way traffic, and they'll tear that down, then do the other thing over the next year. And yeah, it's going to continue to be ugly. And if you're over by Mirage this week, you may notice that there's some interesting drilling going on. It's not construction yet for the Hard Rock's Guitar Hotel, but it is drilling to kind of see if the ground conditions are conducive to building it. I guess they didn't do that before they bought the property, although I'm guessing that they have some idea that it'll be all right. But they're going to spend 10 weekdays drilling in 6 different locations near the Porte Cochet from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So that means that everybody's going to be able to hear this. There will be disruptions to guests staying there as well, although they say not too bad. But just don't get too excited because it's not start of construction, but this is the first kind of step, I guess, before we see that happen.
Well, you know what? This does give hope to maybe people that are loving the volcano. Maybe the ground just won't work and they won't be able to build that guitar. Could you imagine if this all comes down to where they can't do it because the ground test is bad? I mean, how bad?
That would
pay
be
all
funny.
this money. You pay all this money without testing, and it comes back. Nope, sorry, you can't build it here.
Yeah, I hope that's not going to happen for their sake, but I would have to think that they did some sort of suitability study or looked at something. Of course, the Mirage has been sitting on that land for a long period of time, so I would expect it'd be okay. But we have seen that in the past, right? Mandalay Bay famously was sinking from the time it was built. In fact, during construction, it was sinking. While they were building the tower, they noticed that doors wouldn't close and things like that. And I believe they had to go in and put these big jacks underneath the property and spend millions and millions of dollars to prop it up. And so there are areas of that sand and the dirt in Las Vegas that are soft. So, they have to test all of that. But yeah, you're right. That would be perhaps the most ironic Vegas thing ever if they have to announce, we had to cancel it. The volcano stays.
The volcano lives.
Good news, everybody. Chris Angel's going to perform out there.
Yeah, but you could build like little 2-story villas around it and volcano view rooms, and that's how they salvage it right there.
Yeah, speaking of Chris Angel real quick, we haven't made a joke about him in a while, and we're not going to really right now, but I love all the jokes that people make in the comments every week. So I just want to say keep those coming. People love to interpret the stories we talk about and make a Chris Angel reference and joke. Keep those coming. Maybe on a future show I'll cover some of the best ones because they do keep me really happy.
Yeah, you know what's funny is one of the viewers sent me a Facebook message with a link to a Vegas Facebook group, and their question was, would you take free Chris Angel tickets or $100 certificate to Denny's? And those comments are gold, man. Like, it was all Denny's. Everybody wanted the Grand Slam.
And the main story of this week, Mark, is we got some updates on Durango, the casino that's being built in the Southwest. But Durango, they confirm, will open in late 2023. As a reminder, this is a $750 million casino built by Station Casinos and their parent company, Red Rock Resorts. 83,000 square feet of casino space, 200 guest rooms and suites when it opens, 4 signature food and beverage outlets. Of course, they're going to have that food hall, state-of-the-art race and sports book, nice pool, meeting convention space, and the biggest thing, 40 electric vehicle charging stations. But this thing has been rising really quickly. It's great to see it. It's starting to come along, and as they get ready to open in late 2023, we're going to see the building really take shape, and it's a big property, a big investment for Las Vegas.
How jaded are we when I hear 200 rooms? I'm like, really? That's it? For Vegas?
Yeah, the tower actually looks bigger than that. It looks like it should have more than 200 rooms.
Yeah, that number is kind of surprising, but it's good to see it going, and it has been moving a lot quicker than we see on strip hotels and stuff. So this is good to see, another local casino for people to go to and check out and build up that area. And we've seen how strong the gaming is at the local casinos, so it makes a lot of sense, and I think it's going to do really well.
I do too, and Station Casinos is also making that splash with the new Wildfire Fremont. We have covered that before as well. This is on the site of the old Showboat or Castaways Casino.
IHOP.
Yes. But it's going to open on February 10th. So we now know an opening date, and it features 21,000 square feet of gaming space, along with that world famous IHOP and Tacos El Pastor. And so, yeah, it's on Fremont. It's really at Charleston and Fremont, the old Showboat site. So it's not near the Fremont Street experience. This will be more of a locals casino to join the big array of Wildfire casinos now around Las Vegas. They have them all over the valley. I'll throw up a graphic kind of showing you where all the Wildfire casinos are. This is Station Casinos, like I would call a micro neighborhood casino brand, right? They have their bigger ones like Durango, like Red Rock, Green Valley Ranch, Palace Station, Sunset Station, Boulder Station, and then they have these smaller ones. And this will be Las Vegas's newest casino, opening on February 10th. You can get your pancakes then.
Too bad it wasn't a Denny's, then it would have fit so perfectly to what we discussed just a couple minutes ago. But no, how far would you say, if you had to guess, like a walk from the Fremont Street experience to get to here, would it be?
I've done the walk about halfway there. I think it's about 20 minutes. I'd say about 30 to 40 minutes if you had to do it. Maybe about 2 miles, 2.5 miles. But you can go straight down Fremont, and Fremont kind of turns into Charleston, or it turns into Boulder Highway, but it'll hit Charleston and it's right there. So it is possible to do that. A quick Uber ride away as well. But it's mostly like a residential area and a lot of commercial stuff around there as well. So, but Station Casinos had kept that license going all these years since the casino had been torn down. They set up a trailer with some machines and everything else to keep it going. And this was their long game. So they've been playing a long game for this casino for a long time. And I think they right-sized it. It's going to be pretty small and kind of new, though, and probably will draw on some of the people who have moved downtown and don't want all the noise of Fremont Street and don't want to go a little further to the casinos down on the Boulder Strip, like Boulder Station, Sam's Town, stuff like that. So it's an interesting play. This company also, as many people out there know, closed those 3 casinos during COVID, the Texas Station and the 2 Fiestas. So here they are spending hundreds of millions of dollars building new things. They've torn down the old things. They're becoming a major player, though. They own land all over the place. Inspirada Station is also going to start construction soon, which will be a major casino similar to Durango up in Henderson. So, yeah, I think as people don't really understand what station casinos are, but nowadays they're as big a player as Boyd, as even MGM and Caesars in their own way, although not really on the Strip.
Yeah, it just boggles your mind when you think about them knocking down these huge casinos and then building elsewhere. Like you're spending all this money to knock it down, then you're spending more money to build it. It's kind of crazy, but they must have good data. And the way you explain it makes a lot of sense. We've talked about Fremont Street and how you don't really want to be there at night necessarily. There's a lot of stuff going on. So if you are a local and you don't want to drive, you don't want to be involved in all that, this will be, your fix in that area. So I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it'll be very successful.
And one other interesting thing that I should mention with Station Casinos, they actually closed the fourth casino, right? Wild Wild West on Tropicana, just west of the freeway. And Dean Martin Drive, one of the reasons they're doing Dropicana is to reroute that under the freeway. And what that will do is free up a lot of land for where Wild Wild West was. And it'd be interesting to see how that develops if they decide to develop that land, which they said that are going to. So that could be the potential site of another casino. And that was famously the site of the announced Viva, I think it was called, which was supposed to be like a city center-like project owned by Station Casinos before the Great Recession. So a lot of things happening there, but the big news here, a new casino coming February 10th.
Every time you say Wild Wild West, I just think of that horrible Will Smith movie and song.
It really was a bad movie. I mean, I want to say it wasn't, but it was, yeah, it was a pretty bad movie. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this week's update. Let us know what you think. Are you guys gonna visit the new casino? Some of these crazy videos with the snow, the strip rescue. What do you think about Virgin? And did you get stuck in the traffic? So many people in Las Vegas were tweeting and complaining about the traffic. Let us know about all of that. I'm gonna talk on the next show about my crazy story on the MSC Meraviglia in the casino there, a little bit about the casino, why it really was one of the worst casinos I've seen, but also some positive stuff. So I'll give a review of that. But we got them to do something that kind of blew my mind after my wife Jasmine made a mistake. So I know I'm going to get flamed in the comments. We'll save that for next show. But also, I have good things to say, bad things to say. So it'll be a fun show later this week. We do 2 shows every week, Tuesdays and Fridays. So the next one will come out on Friday.
I'm looking forward to you getting all the comment hate instead of me for once. So let's do it.
Yeah. So yeah, look forward to that later in the week. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell to receive notifications of all of our videos. Leave a comment so we can discuss all of this. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, watching, supporting the channel. We really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you guys next time.
See you on Friday.